explained the baby would have never survived from day one. There was something from day one that the baby's heart was never going to beat.
Welcome to Share Your Story with Syma. I would like to get straight into my approach with you on TikTok. So I noticed on TikTok you uploaded a video, and obviously I reached out to you and you were quite happy to share your story. So I don't want to give it away straight away. So we can start off with you can introduce yourself and then you can tell me a little bit about the TikTok video.
Well, my name is Tiffany Brown. I am from Canada. I am 32. I am married and I have a 4-year-old little boy. So the TikTok video that you're talking about is about my miscarriage that I experienced in May. So yeah, it was a very hard video to post, but it is something that a lot of women are not aware of, and it's something that people need to learn a little bit more about. So yeah.
So what made you upload, like you said, a lot of women are not aware about obviously the video that you posted. What made you want to upload the video in the first place?
Well, I was feeling very emotional, obviously, and myself, you hear a lot about miscarriage that happen later on in pregnancies, but you don't often hear about miscarriages that happen in the early stages, like I was 8 weeks pregnant when I experienced it. There is no symptoms of the miscarriage. There's no way of you actually knowing that you had one. The only way you know is by going to an ultrasound and there's no heartbeat. So I wanted to share that with everybody that, it does happen. We just don't hear about it because I find women are very scared to share that with the world. And out of a group of friends, there was about 4 of us pregnant and 3 of us experienced miscarriages. Only one is still pregnant. So, yeah.
It must have been pretty tough for you, especially when there's a group of you that were pregnant. Yes, you could relate to the other 2, but the one that is pregnant, obviously, how does it make you feel?
I love watching her journey with her pregnancy. It does sting a lot because obviously I still wanted to be pregnant, still wanted to have my second baby, but I'm embracing this and I'm seeing it as in God has a plan for me. So it is going to happen. It just wasn't the time for it, I'm going to say. And like my husband says, it happened for a reason. Maybe there would have been something wrong. Maybe we would have lost the baby later on, and it's best that it happened sooner than later. So,
wow.
So we're trying to stay as positive as we can.
Yeah, I was just going to say that is a very positive approach that you have. So, tell me about the pregnancy. So when did you find out you was pregnant? If you can tell me about the journey of what exactly happened.
I don't remember exactly the date that I found out that I was pregnant. I found out pretty early. There wasn't really any signs of pregnancy like I had with my first son. I just took a pregnancy test because we were trying for months to conceive. And then if I compare my son's pregnancy with this pregnancy, they were really different. I had a feeling in my gut that something was wrong really early on with the pregnancy. There was something that wasn't right. But I was trying to stay as positive as I can. I was, trying not to think of the worst until I went for my first ultrasound. And then I compared my first ultrasound with my son with this one, and with them not showing me the monitor, not letting me see anything, I kind of had that feeling that there was something wrong, and the doctor was just trying to stay as positive as he can with me and saying that maybe it's just too early and that's the reason why there isn't a heartbeat. So we waited one more week. I went back for an ultrasound, and once again, she didn't show me the screen. So at that point, I knew that there was something wrong. And I just came home, and the doctor called me, and we took the procedures and steps that we needed to. And we got it. Me personally, I decided to do it as quick as I can so that I could recover as quickly as I can for my family and for my mental health.
Absolutely. So, you said that you had a feeling there was something wrong. Would you say that was from like as soon as you did the pregnancy test, or at what stage?
I wouldn't say as soon as I took the pregnancy test. I would say probably about 5 weeks pregnant, I kind of had like a feeling something was going wrong. I wasn't experiencing any more of my nauseous. I wasn't experiencing, having to go to the bathroom all the time. There was just those symptoms that disappeared too quickly, and I felt like something was wrong, but I was trying to make myself remember that every pregnancy is going to be different and that you shouldn't compare them, and that maybe it's just I'm not having those symptoms anymore, but I'm still pregnant and it's just moving quicker. Yeah.
Bless you. So when you found out, obviously, unfortunately, you have miscarried, what went through your mind at that time?
The first thing that popped in my head was, what did I do wrong? Did I do it? Did I cause it? I'm gonna cry. That's okay. And then my husband reminded me that it wasn't anything I did wrong. I did everything that I could. I think the biggest thing with me was when I was pregnant with my son, I was at my heaviest and I was very unhealthy. And now that I'm at my smallest and I'm healthy and I'm taking care of myself, like, why did it happen this time? I'm healthy. It shouldn't have happened, but it's part of life, and it's something that does happen, and it's something that 1 out of 4 will experience a miscarriage. So, and there was 3 out of 4 of my group that went through it.
Well, that's what I wanted to lead on to, actually, because your first thought was, what did I do wrong?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not really the mom or the mom to be that does anything wrong, is it? It's just a baby that is miscarried.
Yeah, it's like the doctor explained, the baby would have never survived from day one. There was something from day one that the baby's heart was never going to beat. So it was nothing that we did. Obviously, it's just the automatic thought that you think right away is, what did I do? I have quite a few friends that have experienced miscarriages, 4 or 5 of them, and they always say the same thing: what did I do wrong? And it's just the first thing you think of, and it's something that is we're human, and obviously we're going to think that we did something wrong, but no, we didn't. And like the doctor said, when you're that early in a pregnancy, the baby doesn't feel your stress. It doesn't feel any of that yet. So it was nothing that you did. Because at first I thought it was working out. Was I going too hard on my workouts? Was I pushing, not eating enough food, those things? And he says, no, you were doing everything right. So it wasn't you.
Of course. And so obviously it's pretty recent, actually, that it all happened. And looking at your videos on TikTok, they are full of empowering others. I mean, I've been through your TikToks personally myself, and I'm thinking, wow, this woman is so positive. And a couple of videos after that, obviously, that's where I saw your miscarriage video, and I'm thinking, wow, so how I won't say you've recovered, but how do you make yourself feel better? What advice would you give to women out there?
So everybody's experience will be different. My goal was, the best thing that was for me, for my mental health, was to keep moving forward, not to focus on what had happened, and to move on forward. Luckily, my son, I knew that I had to be there for him. So I took 2 to 3 days where I just laid in bed And then I told myself after those 3 days, it is time for me to get back up, keep moving, and move forward. Because if I stay in that dark spot, it'll take me even longer to dig myself out of it. So the more positive that I can be, the best it is for my mental health and for everybody around me, really. And it also helped that my husband was there to support me and help me through it. So,
Yeah,
and having my friends too.
of course. That was going to be my next question, actually, about your relationship with your husband. How did it affect your relationship with your husband? That could be obviously in a positive way. It doesn't always have to be negative, but
Mhm.
positively. I mean, what happened between you and your husband? Are you closer or?
We're the same. Nothing really changed between us. Like I said, it didn't affect him as much as it did me because obviously it was my body. I had to go through all the motions, but we are just looking at the positive of everything. We started trying again. We're just gonna take it day by day, and when it happens, it happens, and we love each other just as much as we always have, and nothing has changed, which is good.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know you did get pretty emotional there, so I do apologise
No.
about that. Um, my next question would be in regards to your weight loss journey as well. I did notice on your TikToks that you do work out a lot. I wasn't sure, was you like a very large person before or?
I've lost 50 pounds. So, yeah, when I started my health journey, I weighed the same that I weighed at the end of my first pregnancy, which was a big shock for me. Yeah, I'm only 5'1", and I was weighing 180 pounds when I started. Yeah. So it was a tough journey to get to where I am. I wouldn't have been able to do it with the community of ladies that I have found, the program that I'm doing, it has definitely helped me in my mindset because I knew for me to be able to do the things that I need to do for my son, I need to be the healthiest person that I can be and the happiest because before I started, I was depressed. My anxiety was really high. I was eating my emotions, and really, me and my son never left the house. We just stayed home all the time. So I just knew I needed to do something to change my life and to be healthier, especially with health issues within our family.
Absolutely. So, would you say you had low self-esteem as well?
Hmm. Yes, definitely. I had no confidence in myself at all. I pretty much I would wear baggy clothes. Um, I never liked going out in public. The beach was like a no-no for me. Like, did not want to go. Um, Even though as much as my husband would always tell me how beautiful I am, deep down inside, I didn't believe it. I had a really hard time, especially growing up with being told by many people that I was ugly, that I was fat, that, you know, going through all that at such a young age until I found my husband, it gets stuck in your head and then you start to believe it. So it was really hard. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, obviously, you have mentioned that you wanted to do this for yourself as well as to
Mhm.
do things, well, daily things and daily activities with your son. But how did you finally make that decision? Because surely people out there do struggle every day. Me personally, I wake up Monday morning, right, it's Monday, I'm on a diet, or I'm going to be healthy, and then come Monday afternoon, oh yeah, you only live once. That's it. Here comes a bar of chocolate or a packet of crisps. So,
Mhm.
what made you so firm on your decision?
Well, I was following this girl on Facebook for the longest time and I was watching her journey and she just messaged me one day and asked me if I'd be interested to join her team. And I ghosted her. I didn't message her back for a few days. I just kind of watched from afar. And then when I stepped on that scale and I saw that number, I knew at that moment that maybe I should take that opportunity and change my life for the better. Um, the biggest thing that has helped me is not calling it a diet or a workout thing. I call it a lifestyle. I find if I say it's a lifestyle and I balance everything out and I still treat myself, here and there, it's helped me stay on track and where I want to be.
Absolutely. So what was the journey? What is it that you did daily to make that change? So what did you eat and what was your exercise?
So at first I started with just working out daily. We do specific programs together, and that has helped me a lot. And then I slowly introduced my portion control fix eating. So everything is you eat so much of each fruit group a day, and that has really helped me crave those cravings. And I actually learned that I wasn't actually eating enough food. That was my issue. Yeah, I wasn't eating enough of the right foods. I eat more now than I ate when I was at my biggest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So it's all about the food intake that we have. We can have plenty of food. It just has to be the right food. So
hmm
was there any time in your journey where you felt like, I can't do this? Or what kept you motivated to continue and obviously be where you are today?
Well, I can say a month in, I wanted to give up. But once again, I looked at my son and I realized that I needed to keep pushing. Now with everything going on in the world right now, I have had my moments where I wanted to give up. My depression was coming up again, my anxiety. A lot of personal development has really helped me reading my books and trying to stay as positive as I can. And instead of looking at the past, I'm looking at the future and I'm taking it one day at a time.
Amazing. And looking at your TikTok video, so you do really good workouts as well, don't you?
Mhm.
Which I've noticed, by the way, which I did try to do one and I collapsed because it's hardcore but very, very effective workout that you do. So is that something that you do every day?
I work out every day. I work
Wow.
out Monday to Sunday. Sundays I normally do a stretch or yoga, but I do work out every day. I get up at, I think, 5 in the morning. I do my workout and then I get ready for the day.
Wow, that's amazing. Does that keep you going for the day when you wake up at 5? Do you work out? Do you feel better within yourself?
Oh, it definitely. I find the days that I don't work out are the days that I just lay on the couch and do nothing. I always tell my clients this. I tell them because they say I don't have energy to work out, and I always tell them to create energy, you must move your body. So if you move your body daily, you will create the energy that you need to go through with the day. So I find if I don't work out, I feel lazy, and if I work out, I have the energy for my day.
Absolutely. And I can see you've got a lot of confidence compared to what you told me a couple of minutes ago, saying that you were quite low in self-esteem.
Mhm.
Um, this is quite a personal question. Do you feel that if you were still the same weight before and you miscarried then, do you think you would have been able to not move on quickly, but like, would it have helped? Obviously, it helps now. Would you be the same? Would you still have the same attitude, do you think?
No, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have. I was so depressed back then. I feel like my depression would have just been even harder. Definitely. Like, I have lost so much in my life, and I find that I have learned how to grieve a lot quicker than most people. And that has helped me. But I think that if I wasn't healthy and working out and had the community of people that I have right now, I would still be depressed and still be really like lost, really.
Yeah. And you say you was pretty depressed back then. Was it your weight the only reason, or was there other reasons?
No, so I was diagnosed with depression in high school because I was bullied very heavily. I was mentally bullied. And then I'd say a year or two out of high school, I was sexually abused by somebody that I was dating. And then I lost my dad very suddenly, and lost my dad about a year before I got married. So that was very hard for me, and my depression just, I lost it until I got pregnant with my son. And I think that really helped me get out of it. But not, then I ended up with postpartum depression, which is even harder. And every time I had depression, I refused medication. I always told myself that I would always try to do it on my own. And it's not the easiest thing, but lots of support and positivity will definitely help you.
I see. Um,
Oh. Oh.
I'm so sorry. I actually
Okay.
phone off aeroplane mode. I do apologise about that. Um, you said obviously you was bullied back in high school. What was you bullied for?
So I started getting bullied actually in elementary school, because I was kept back in grade 3. I repeated grade 3 because I was diagnosed with short-term memory loss. So I was the oldest one in my class. So I got bullied because of that. And then I got bullied because I was the only girl in my class that had meat on their bones. I was the only girl in my class that had boobs, and they picked on me because of that. And then I went into high school thinking that it would stop. It didn't. I got bullied saying I was ugly, I was fat, that I was stupid, and just, yeah, I just kind of kept to myself. And the friends that I thought I made in high school, they weren't really my friends. They were just using me. So,
Terrible. That's
yeah.
really, so it's been really tough for you. You were bullied in high school, but it seems like it's affected you in your adulthood as well, hasn't it? And
Yeah.
this is what we want to create awareness for. It's all different things, but bullying being a massive one, that it's not just that specific age where it affects the person in adulthood, in older adulthood as well, and it can potentially affect other milestones or transitions that you have. Like maybe you might be very protective over your son. There'll be days that you have good days, there'll be days that you have bad days, and then you'll think about when you're dropping your child off to school, wonder what they're facing, going through, and if they're being bullied. So although you were diagnosed with depression, how did it make you feel when being bullied at that time, like in the classroom and the playground?
Um, I never showed them my emotion at school when they were doing it. I would just walk away and ignore it as much as I can. It was when I got home off the school bus is when I would let the tears come out, and I would talk to my mom, and she would remind me of how beautiful I am, and that I'm a very strong woman. But it does hurt. It still hurts nowadays. Like you say, it follows you throughout your life. And I remember, like, before I got married and I was going through the dating, a lot of men would say, or guys, they would just say, you're lacking confidence. And I would explain to them what had happened to me. And some of them would just say, well, those boys were just silly, or those guys were just stupid because they don't know what they're missing out on. But I never believed them, and I still struggle with that. I still struggle with the fact that I don't think that I am as beautiful as my husband says I am. But I am working on it, and it's a work in progress, and I don't think it'll ever go away. But I think that as long as I can stay as positive as I can and remind myself that I am beautiful and that everybody is unique in their own way and beautiful in their own way.
It seems like that what the bullies have said to you has always stuck
Mm-hmm.
by you forever, and anybody that just throw you a compliment, you think about what has been said before. Wow, that's shocking, and that's horrible to hear what you have been through. You've had quite a journey, and obviously for somebody like yourself that's been through such a journey, staying positive is, it's quite difficult to stay positive, but like I said, in your TikToks and your social media, you're full of positivity. What makes you positive?
I just want to bring joy to everybody. There's so much negativity in the world right now, and there's so much going on. My nieces are bullied, and I try to tell them to ignore it and to be the bigger person and that they are beautiful, because I've experienced all that. And I want them to know that, if we stay as positive as we can and we show our confidence out to the world, people will see that we are confident, and they will leave us alone. I feel that my issue in high school and elementary school was the fact that I believed that I was ugly and fat, so I showed them that I wasn't confident in myself, and then that gave them that door to open and start bullying me. So as soon as you show them you're confident, your positivity, and that you won't let them tear you down, they'll stop tearing you down.
That's quite tough. Are you in touch with any of the bullies? I mean, have they seen you recently at all?
So I went to a small high school, so of course they all have me on Facebook.
Yeah.
A few of them have contacted me. The funny thing about all of this is that almost maybe 3 or 4 of the biggest ones that bullied me about my weight are now bigger themselves. So
Wow.
yeah, and I'm at my smallest. So it just shows you that you can bully somebody when you're young, but you don't know where you're going to be when you get older. And then you're going to realize that what you did was wrong. And they all have kids of their own. And now they understand the impact that it can do to somebody, and that they would never want anybody to do that to their own child.
Absolutely. Did you ever speak to them about how they made you feel?
I did a few. A few of them I did bring it up and spoke to them about what they had done, and they apologized, and they didn't think that they did anything wrong until I clarify exactly how it made me feel. And they just said that we were just joking around, we were kids, and I tried to explain to them that, words can hurt, and that you need to be careful on what you say to people. And if you think it's a joke, it doesn't mean that they believe that it's a joke. So you definitely have to be really careful on what you say.
Absolutely. Did that make you feel better at all?
Yes, it did. Actually, confronting them and letting them know that what they did to me, and then showing them that I am not going to let that, ruin my life, and that I'm going to forget about what they did and move forward, and just show everybody that, if you've been bullied in the past, leave that in the past and move forward and stay as positive as you can. And just, I always tell myself, and I tell everybody, my clients, my friends, I always remind them of how beautiful they are, no matter what anybody says. You are beautiful inside and out, and that's what counts.
Big or small, it shouldn't really matter.
It does not matter. It does not matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter the size you are, the shape you are. If you have a disability, it does not matter. You are beautiful no matter what. There will always be somebody that has something negative to say, but you have to remember that you need to focus on the beauty that you have.
Absolutely. I would like to say a massive thank you to you, because you have actually fully opened up about your journey today. Obviously, we started off with the miscarriage and your weight loss, and then obviously we ended up touching up on other stuff, the bullying, and of course the sexual abuse that you have been through. But the point of today's conversation is that you've been through such a journey, but look where you are today. You're positive, you're smiling, you've got a family, and it doesn't matter how much negativity you have in your past, it's all about the present and the future. just a last thing, any advice you would like to give to anybody out there? It could be about any topic or just an overall advice for everybody that will be watching.
Just remember, like I said, just remember that you are beautiful no matter what. Inside and out, you are unique, and that's what makes you beautiful. And just stay as positive as you can and ignore that negativity that's coming your way. Just push it away and stay as positive as you can.